It was a time when people were losing homes, losing jobs, losing hope. When the Great Depression hit in 1929.
The Great Depression, spanning from 1929 to 1939, was a severe global economic downturn triggered by a dramatic drop in stock prices in the United States, the world's largest economy at the time. This period marked a stark contrast to the prosperity of the roaring 1920s, as everyday life became increasingly challenging. In response to these hardships, people adopted frugal lifestyles, turning to inventive pie recipes that used inexpensive ingredients, ensuring nothing was wasted. Let's dive in and explore the resourceful pies that helped families survive during this tough era. Water pie.
By pouring water in your pie, 1 cup sugar, and a 1/4 cup of flour. 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract.
Bro, why is that amazing? That's so good.
Water pie is a simple dessert that became popular during the Great Depression, when ingredients like milk and eggs were hard to find. Made from basic items such as water, sugar, flour, butter, and vanilla, it was a clever way for families to create a sweet treat without spending much money. To prepare it, a regular pie crust was filled with a mixture of water, sugar, and flour, then topped with butter and vanilla. As it bakes, the flour thickens the filling, and the butter gives it a creamy texture. The result was a surprisingly rich dessert with a light sweetness and custard-like texture, proving that even the simplest ingredients can make something satisfying. Mock apple pie.
This is called mock apple pie, and you won't believe it, but when you make this pie, people eat it, they think they're eating apple pie.
Mock apple pie was a clever invention from the Great Depression that replicated the taste of apple pie using crackers, sugar, and cinnamon. During that time, apples were hard to find and expensive, so cooks had to get creative. The recipe became popular in the 1930s and even appeared on Ritz cracker boxes. To make the pie, Ritz crackers were soaked in water and then mixed with sugar, cinnamon, and lemon juice. This filling closely resembled the taste and texture of apples. The mixture was then placed in a pie crust and baked until golden. People made mock apple pie because it was an affordable way to enjoy a familiar dessert without needing real apples. Despite its unusual ingredients, the pie tasted sweet and spiced, similar to traditional apple pie. Vinegar pie.
Vinegar pie is the rather odd dish on this list that proves that at times of desperation, anyone will eat anything.
Vinegar pie was a creative dessert used to replicate the taste of lemon pie when lemons were hard to find. This recipe dated back to pioneer times and became popular again in the 1930s. It used basic ingredients like vinegar, sugar, and spices to create a tangy and sweet filling similar to lemon custard. To prepare it, people would start with a simple pie crust and mix vinegar, sugar, water, and flour for the filling, adding cinnamon and nutmeg for flavor. The mixture was cooked until it thickened, then poured into the crust and baked until firm. Vinegar provided the acidity needed to imitate the tartness of lemons. It became a popular option because it was affordable and allowed people to enjoy a citrus-flavored dessert without using actual lemons. Oatmeal pie.
Now, the oatmeal pie really started back during the Civil War when they couldn't find pecans.
Oatmeal pie, a sweet and filling dessert, became popular during the Great Depression when pecans were expensive and hard to find. It served as a budget-friendly alternative to pecan pie, offering a similar taste and texture. The filling used simple ingredients like rolled oats, corn syrup, sugar, butter, and eggs, all of which were more affordable and easier to access. People mixed these ingredients and poured them into a pie crust, baking it until the filling became chewy and caramel-like, similar to an oatmeal cookie. This dessert was not only economical, but also satisfying, with oats providing a hearty base. Families enjoyed its rich, sweet flavor, which made it comforting during tough times, and some even ate it for breakfast due to its substantial nature. Green tomato pie.
A cafe, and I'd help her in the restaurant. This green tomato pie, I make that like twice a year in the fall when the tomatoes get green.
Green tomato pie became popular during times when people needed to make the most of what they had. At the end of the growing season, they used unripe green tomatoes, which replaced apples in pies. This pie resembled apple pie in both texture and taste, making it a smart and affordable dessert option. To prepare the pie, people sliced green tomatoes and combined them with sugar, cinnamon, and nutmeg. The mixture was placed in a pie crust and baked until the tomatoes softened and the filling became bubbly. Occasionally, lemon zest or vinegar was added to enhance the flavor. People turned to this recipe as a practical way to use up green tomatoes that would have otherwise gone to waste. Depression cake.
Depression-era chocolate cake, also referred to as war cake recipe made during the Great Depression.
Depression cake, also called wacky cake, war cake, or crazy cake, became popular during the Great Depression when items like eggs, milk, and butter were too expensive and hard to find. This cake was different because it didn't need any of those ingredients, making it naturally vegan dessert. Instead, people used basic, affordable items like flour, sugar, cocoa powder, baking soda, vinegar, and oil. To make it, they mixed the dry ingredients, made a well in the center, and added the wet ones. The reaction between vinegar and baking soda made the cake rise, resulting in a moist and tasty dessert. This cake provided a way for families to enjoy something sweet despite the tough economic times. Stay tuned for more innovative and fun recipes like the classic shoe fly pie.
Pie this holiday season, this is the one. This is a Pennsylvania Dutch dessert called shoe fly pie. Easy, gooey, and yummy shoe fly pie.
A delicious treat that's both affordable and easy to make. Shoe fly pie, a key dessert in the Pennsylvania Dutch community, became popular in the 19th century. It gained even more fame during the Great Depression because it was affordable and made with simple, long-lasting ingredients like molasses, flour, sugar, and water. There were two main types of shoe fly pie: the wet bottom, which had a gooey molasses layer, and the dry bottom with a crumbly texture. The name shoe fly came from the need to keep flies away from the sweet molasses filling. During the Great Depression, shoe fly pie was a popular choice because it could be made from inexpensive pantry staples. Its rich flavor created by the molasses, along with its crumbly or gooey texture, made it a comforting treat during challenging times. Despite its modest beginnings, shoe fly pie remained a beloved dessert. Bean pie.
And today, I am trying a bean pie for the first time. What made you want to try bean pie? Well, yeah, that's the consistency.
Bean pie, a dessert rooted in the African American Muslim community, became popular during the Great Depression because it was affordable and nutritious. Made with white beans such as navy beans, the beans were mashed and sweetened with sugar and spices, creating a filling similar to sweet potato or pumpkin pie. This dish was economical and provided a good source of protein, important during times of food shortages. To prepare the pie, beans were cooked and mashed, then mixed with sugar, eggs, milk, cinnamon, and nutmeg. The mixture was poured into a pie crust and baked until it set, resulting in a creamy custard-like filling that was sweet and satisfying. People relied on bean pie recipes because they were inexpensive and used ingredients that were easily accessible during the time of scarcity. Chess pie.
Today I'm going to show you how to make a southern chess pie. It is absolutely delicious, so let's get started.
Chess pie, a classic from the southern United States, had a rich history that dated back to the 19th century. Its exact beginnings remained unclear, but it likely came from English cheese pies or was named because it was stored in pie chests. The pie gained popularity during the Great Depression due to its simple and cheap ingredients: sugar, butter, eggs, and a bit of cornmeal. These common pantry items were easy to find and affordable, making chess pie a practical dessert during hard times. To make chess pie, cooks mixed sugar, melted butter, eggs, and a small amount of cornmeal to create a custard-like filling. This mixture was poured into a pie crust and baked until firm. The cornmeal thickened the filling and added a slight texture, while the sugar and butter gave it a rich, sweet flavor. Cabbage pie. Cabbage pie was a popular dish in rural areas because it was cheap and easy to make with cabbage. This pie was not a dessert. It served as a hearty meal that could feed a family using just a few ingredients. During the Great Depression, people made a simple pie crust using flour, water, and a small amount of fat, like lard or butter. The filling included shredded cabbage, onions, and sometimes potatoes or carrots if they were available. These ingredients were cooked together until soft and seasoned with salt and pepper. The mixture went into the pie crust, was topped with another layer of dough, and baked until golden brown. Cabbage pie was filling and provided important nutrients. Although it may not sound appealing today, it was a satisfying meal for those with limited choices. Depression chocolate pie.
Today on Sugar Spun Run, I'll be showing you how to make a chocolate pie. Hey Sugar Spun Bakers, Sam here, and today I am so excited to be sharing another carefully tested, well-researched, and perfected recipe.
During the Great Depression, Depression chocolate pie became a favorite dessert because it was simple and cheap to make. This pie used basic ingredients like cocoa powder, sugar, cornstarch, and milk, creating a rich chocolate filling without expensive chocolate bars or eggs. Cornstarch thickened the filling as it was less costly than using many eggs or cream. To make the pie, a crust was created using flour, water, and shortening or lard. The filling was made by mixing cocoa powder, sugar, and cornstarch with milk and cooking it until thick and smooth. This mixture was poured into the pie crust and baked until it's set. Some versions included whipped cream or meringue on top if ingredients were available, but it was frequently served plain. Depression chocolate pie provided a comforting, chocolatey treat during tough times, lifting spirits when luxuries were rare. These resilient pie recipes not only provided sustenance during tough times, but also brought comfort and joy. Which pie would you love to try? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more delicious stories and recipes.